You know, we're all told to build good habits, but what if I told you that some habits are literally 100 times more powerful than others? Well, today, we're going to rank them, from the simplest routines to the most profound practices, to find out which ones actually have the power to rewire your brain.
So think about all those habits you're trying to build, right? Drinking more water, meditating, maybe learning a new skill. We tend to lump them all together. But from a brain science perspective, are they really the same? The short answer: absolutely not. Some habits create tiny ripples, while others create a total tidal wave of change inside your head. See, most of us believe any good habit is a step in the right direction, and it is, but the science is clear. Some habits barely make a dent in our neural wiring, while others forge brand new pathways, completely overhauling how we think. So let's dive in and start the ranking to see which habits give you the most bang for your buck, neurologically speaking.
Okay, before we can even get to level 1, we have to talk about the one concept that makes all of this possible: neuroplasticity. Seriously, think of it as your brain's built-in superpower. It's the actual physical ability of your brain to change and reorganize itself based on your experiences and actions. It's the reason why building new habits isn't just wishful thinking, it's biology. Here's a great way to picture it. Every single time you do a habit, it's like you're carving a path through a dense forest in your brain. The first time, it's tough going. You're fighting through resistance. But every time you walk that same path again, it gets a little clearer, a little wider, a little deeper. This is neuroplasticity in action. It's what scientists mean when they say neurons that fire together wire together. Each repetition just strengthens that connection, making it more and more automatic.
So, how does the brain actually build these paths so efficiently? It runs on a super simple but incredibly powerful 3-step engine. We call it the habit loop. First, there's the cue. That's the trigger that tells your brain, hey, time to go on autopilot. Then comes the routine, which is the action itself, whether it's physical or mental. And finally, you get the reward, the little payoff that tells your brain, awesome, that was worth it. Let's remember this loop for next time. Every single habit you have, good or bad, follows this exact blueprint.
All right, let's get into the ranking. We're starting at the ground floor with level 1, low-impact habits. Now, these are definitely good for you, but they don't require a lot of heavy lifting from your brain. And that means, as you can see on the chart, they don't carve very deep neural pathways. So what does a level 1 habit even look like? Well, think about drinking a glass of water when you wake up, or using the 2-minute rule to tidy up. These are simple physical routines. They have a really low cognitive load, meaning your brain can basically put them on autopilot from day one. They're fantastic for building a little momentum, but really, they're just the foundation. Now we're moving up the ladder to level 2, support habits. Okay, we're going beyond just simple physical actions here. These habits start to engage with our inner world, our thoughts and emotions, and they support our mental clarity. This requires a little more brain rewiring, as you can see that bar starting to climb.
So what are we talking about here? Things like journaling or doing a daily gratitude practice. So what makes these a step up? Well, it's because they force you to consciously interact with your own thoughts. You're not just mindlessly doing something, you're actively taking the time to organize your internal landscape, and that starts to wake up some of the higher level functions in your brain.
And here at level 3, we take a pretty big leap. This is where we stop just doing habits and we start becoming the architect of our habits. We're now consciously messing with the habit loop itself. And that, my friends, is why we see a really significant jump in brain rewiring. This quote from James Clear's huge bestseller, Atomic Habits, just nails the philosophy of level 3. The biggest changes in our lives don't come from some heroic burst of willpower. Nope, they come from designing smart systems, an environment where doing the right thing is practically automatic. So what do these systems actually look like in practice? Well, 2 of the big ones are environment design and habit stacking. Environment design is all about changing your space to make the cues for your good habits super obvious and the cues for bad habits basically invisible. Then you've got habit stacking, also called anchoring. That's where you link a new habit to one you already do. Like, after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. Both of these are so powerful because you're strategically hacking the cue part of the habit loop to make good behavior almost inevitable. At level 4, we're entering a whole new territory: brain training habits. Just look at the massive jump on that chart. We're not just trying to influence our behavior anymore. We're now directly training the core machinery of our brain: our attention, our emotions, our decision-making. This is the equivalent of taking your brain to the gym for a serious workout. To really get level 4, you have to rethink willpower. It's not some endless moral virtue. Neuroscience shows us it's a finite resource. It runs out as you use it throughout the day, just like a muscle gets tired after you lift weights. But here's the cool part. Just like a muscle, it can be trained and strengthened. And the habits in this level are exactly that training.
So level 4 habits include things like meditation, practicing emotional regulation, and engaging in focused learning. What these all have in common is that they are a direct workout for your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain. That's the part responsible for focus, impulse control, and planning. With these habits, you are literally strengthening the neural networks that make you a more disciplined and focused person. And now, we've reached the very peak of our ranking, level 5, the high neuroplasticity habits. Just like the name says, these are the activities that trigger the most intense, the most widespread change in your brain. These are the habits that create powerful, complex, and lasting new connections like nothing else. So what on earth is a level 5 habit? Think about deep work, those long, uninterrupted blocks of intense focus on a really challenging task. Or imagine learning a complex new skill from scratch, like playing the violin. It also includes deliberate practice, where you don't just go through the motions. You actively find your weaknesses and you target them relentlessly. This isn't just reinforcing old paths. This is a total cognitive upgrade for your brain.
Okay, so let's put it all together in a quick summary. We started at level 1 with those simple routines, like drinking water. Then we moved up to level 2 with support habits, like journaling, that give us mental clarity. At level 3, we became habit architects, using systems like habit stacking. Level 4 was the brain gym, where we strengthened our focus and willpower through things like meditation. And finally, at level 5, we hit total brain rewiring through intense, deep learning. You see how each level builds on the one before it? It's a path from simple actions to profound transformation. And that really brings us to the most important takeaway of all. Your brain isn't some fixed, static thing. It is constantly changing, every single day, rewiring itself based on what you do and where you put your attention. So the question is never if your brain is changing. The only real question is, which of your habits are shaping it?
Expand your mind. Join Blue Mind Theory.